Hey everybody, Jay Barino here. Let's continue StarCraft Remastered. We're heading into the Iron Fist, which is the Brood War Terran campaign. Since the conflict began in the Caprulu sector, the ruling council of the United Earth Directorate has closely monitored its wayward Terran colonies. Having witnessed the steady advancement of the Zerg infestation and the maneuverings of the Protoss throughout the colonies, the ruling council has finally agreed to take control over the war-torn sector. Learning that a new Zerg overmind has manifested itself upon the planet Char, the UED has sent its greatest admiral, Duran, to capture the creature. As captain of the UED fleet under Dugal, your objective will be to storm the Terran Dominion and depose of its dictator, Emperor Mengsk I. UED flagship Alexander, high orbit over the planet Braxis, outlying Dominion stronghold.
Adjutant online. Good morning, Captain. Our long voyage from Earth is over, and we are holding a stationary position near the borders of Dominion space. I trust that the effects from your long, cold sleep have worn off by now. If not, the Med Officer can provide you with additional cryostim supplements. Admiral Dugal has issued a proclamation to the entire fleet via Transmed. I'll patch it through to you now.
Attention, defenders of the United Earth Directorate. This is Admiral Dugal. You were all briefed before we left Earth, so you know that we have come here to conquer this sector in the name of humanity. Should any of you have second thoughts about performing your assigned duties, be reminded that if we fail in our mission here, not one of us will be going home. We stand or fall together in this forsaken wasteland. Serve the Directorate. Serve humanity. All other priorities are secondary to victory. Dugal out.
Transmed completed. Receiving incoming transmission.
Good morning, Captain. I am Vice Admiral Stukov, Tactical Advisor to Admiral Dugal. I see you've already reviewed his proclamation. I'm sure it doesn't cover anything you weren't already familiar with. Once you get to know the Admiral, I'm sure you'll find that he's actually quite personable. At any rate, Captain, I do have orders for you. As we are about to begin our invasion of the Dominion, we will need access to their primary data net and weapons diagnostics. To this end, you are to assault the outlying planet of Braxis and take control of its capital city of Boralis. You are to deploy your forces within 2 standard hours. The Admiral expects perfect results, Captain. Stukov out.
Alright, destroy the enemy command center.
Give me something to shoot.
No gas.
Standing by.
Say it. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, crap. This landed site doesn't have any gas. Guess we better start looking for another geyser.
Okay, so that's priority number 1. Did my sound settings get reset again? I just feel like the digital volume is so much lower than what I originally had it to. Yeah, music volume should be pretty low. I'll bump up the digital volume, but only a little bit. It just gets so loud with the attacking of the units and stuff, but, you know, it makes the dialogue voices a little bit louder, too. So we can't make anything except Marines, which is all we are going to make for now. As we just saturate this, then we'll go over, we'll find Mr. Nerud. What I like about this campaign is it feels like you're actually doing something as part of an organized Terran force as opposed to just ragtag garbage from, like, Rebel Yell. It was just, everything was terrible. Everything is awful, whereas with the Iron Fist, you're part of, like, an organized Terran force that's meant to come in and actually conquer and, again, I guess just the organization of it is just, it's better than the feeling of the Sons of Korhal. Granted, now... It's interesting, this is the first major perspective shift. I mean, I think the first StarCraft did this when you played as a Cerebrate under the Overmind, but, I mean, your Zerg, period, what could you expect them to do? It's just you're playing as a faction that's just hostile to everybody, has no allies, and, I don't know, I like that. I like that perspective. It kind of shakes it up, and that was sort of the moral ambiguity of the original StarCraft in general. Was you're playing as a lot of different factions, and they all have different motivations, and all of them aren't just like protagonists, you know, like the UED aren't necessarily protagonists. They can be. It's just it's just ambiguous, and it's what you make of it as the player, which I appreciate. StarCraft 2, I think one of the common criticisms is that it lacks, I don't want to say the bleakness of StarCraft 1, but the reason StarCraft 1 was bleak was not just because like bad things happened in the story, but it was because the factions that you played as just aren't all necessarily likable. But if you want to play the game, you play as those factions, period. And I think that's quite interesting. So let's just keep getting Marines. I'd like to get like, I don't know, 5 or 10 more Marines, and then we'll go. Nothing too crazy. Try to keep the tanks alive until we get over to the other base that we can get. And we'll spend our money buying. You know, we can get an engineering bay, I suppose, just for future consumption, future upgrades, if you will. All right. How many Marines do we realistically need? Probably not too many. Let's just wait until this group of 10 finishes. We'll get another supply depot, and then we'll get moving. Probably should have just moved my... Well, these supply depots are here, which probably should have just moved my command center a little further northwest because it's kind of in a silly spot. We're so far away from some of these mineral patches. But, I don't know. Stukov, were you the one that sent these ground troops down here? Also, this is the first and only time that the UED is brown-colored for some reason. I don't know. There's some explanation of that I don't really care about, but it's just a little fun fact. It's the only mission where they're brown. There we go. Throw this down. They're yellow in one of the Zerg missions. I don't know. That's weird, too. I don't know why that was the choice. It's probably because we're on Braxis, and having white color on the white tile set may be confusing to some. Not confusing, but... like mildly misleading, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know what I'm really going for with this explanation, but this bunker I think is in the exact wrong spot to, one, not hit units coming down this ramp, and not hit units coming from the right, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be attacking to the right. Let's just keep making supply depots so we don't have to worry about it later. Let's take this group and head over and see what we can find, and by see what we can find, I mean I know what we're going to find. I've already, like, spoken directly about certain spoilers on these maps. What? Yeah, sure, walk right into the fire bat. Very smart. Here I am talking about, like, oh, the UED, they kind of know what they're doing. Apparently not. There you go, yeah. Destroy the fire bats before they get close. If you could just destroy them before they shoot, they're completely nullified. That's the idea. Okay, probably they're going to be sending units in to reinforce this. Just keep making Marines at home, and we'll send them over. Vultures, a little frightening. They can do a lot of damage to us. Okay, not sure what this dropship is doing. Very confused. There we go. So we aggravated the Dominion by attacking their buildings again. That's just how StarCraft 1 AI rolls. If you attack any of a faction's buildings, anywhere on the map, not units, but buildings, anywhere on the map, they're like, oh, hell no, and they'll send units from all over the place to come and try to stop you. It's sort of silly. Okay, so this should be enough. I mean, it is enough. We've already cleared out the way. I think, is he over here, or he might be over to the left? I'm not sure. I think this is it. Okay, a little unfortunate. There we go, we stopped him, and we have made it. Look who it is.
I am Lieutenant Samir Duran of the Confederate Resistance Forces. I've been monitoring your attack against the Dominion, and I'd like to offer you my services and skills in return for amnesty.
Intriguing. Lieutenant, you have absolutely no idea as to who we are or what we have come here to do. Why do you wish to side with us?
Because my men and I have sworn to fight against the Dominion and its Emperor. Seeing as how your forces have been laying into this Dominion base, I figured we were on the same side.
I see. How exactly do you propose to be of service to us, Lieutenant?
Well, I possess intimate knowledge of the surrounding area. I can show you an alternate route that leads to the rear of the main Dominion base.
Very well, Lieutenant. Consider yourself and your men the first colonial conscripts of the United Earth Directorate. Captain, see that the Lieutenant is given our full cooperation. We shall see if he's worth the
Okay, Duran must survive, but now we've got Duran. It's gonna do a boatload of damage to infantry, that's exciting.
Standing by.
Okay, so now we can get an academy and get marine range, which is pretty necessary for this single bunker up here that's going to struggle to hit hit these units that are walking down from the other direction. Right there is fine. All right, that bunker has pleasantly surprised me. Let's just leave these marines here, and then we'll pretty much be working directly out of Duran's base from here on out. We need this gas.
I'm here.
Okay, very cool. I don't know if they attack us from this direction or not, or maybe if they attack us down here. I don't remember. But we'll find out pretty soon. And again, we really need this gas. What do we want to spend it on? Marine range and siege mode are the two things that really are all I care about. Can we even make an armory? We can. I don't know. I'm not hugely invested in making sure that we have the upgrades necessary. Because I don't know, can we get up to +2 or +3? We'll find out. Let's repair our tank for now and just keep making marines. We have so many minerals, we might as well just make marines like crazy. And supply depots. They shouldn't be attacking us from down here anymore, but they might, I guess. So let's just make a bunker just in case. So we're just going to keep making SCVs, marines, and supply depots. This base here should be no problem defended. U-238 shells, that's what I had said I would get first, and, you know, a comset station's probably also semi-necessary. Then we have more than enough minerals. We should have enough saturated on the gas. Keep making marines. I don't see much of a point in making marines down here anymore because they're just going to try to rally up here and then get trapped. Okay. Siege mode next, I think? Actually, no, we can make marines here because we're going to have to bring them up to protect any tanks that we bring. Because we started with the factory. I don't want to have to float this one up here or anything. We're obviously going to attack through the back door that Duran has supplied to us, which is great. So let's grab... Let's start +1 because it's time-consuming. And then next we're going to get 2 comsat stations. A couple more tanks. And we shouldn't take too long to complete this. Again, I'm usually pretty conscious about being efficient with time and completing these. The longest I spent, I think, was like Countdown, the last mission that we played in the Protoss missions. Pretty time-consuming, but that's because not only do you have to attack, but then there's a timer at the end. Very similar to like Invasion of Ire, which I think was the other map that ended up taking us a reasonable amount of time. Mostly because you have to perform some sort of macro tasks, and then you move out.
Research complete.
Okay, siege mode is done. Let's just do that. Keep making marines. We're probably going to finish this before we make an armory and get any upgrades, so... Nah. Okay, they are attacking us here with firebats and vultures, the two greatest weapons. Actually, no, we can't get a science facility, so I think +1 is our limit. I'll make an armory because why not, I guess. And then with our extra gas, we'll make tanks.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
There we go. We got all these marines here. And as long as we can get +1 on our infantry, I'm happy. We'll bring Duran with us. Because, of course, he's not a double agent or anything. He's here to help us. So we'll include him in everything that we're doing. Okay, and even though there's a back door, the concept in StarCraft 1 really is not that useful. And while we can avoid any frontal defenses, the point is, even if when we start attacking buildings, the enemy will start coming and attacking us like crazy, because that's just how they roll. Like, as I discussed earlier, we saw like a bunch of units came down to try to defend this one barracks. That's just how StarCraft AI is.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, 6 tanks is going to be more than enough. In fact, let's cancel one so we can start our vehicle weapons. Then queue it back up. Okay, and then once these 2 tanks are done, we're going. That's pretty much my cutoff. Whenever +1 finishes, that's it, period. That's +1 finishes whenever it finishes. We're not going to take time to do anything else here. Firebat's kind of a joke. We're not going to be making them. I mean, against Terran, they're kind of a joke. They're good against Marines and Ghosts and other Firebats, and that's it. They're not useful for anything else. And they're countered directly by pretty much everything. So, not much of a reason to make them, I don't think. I mean, can someone explain to me a reason to make Firebats against Terran? Just don't do it. Just never do it. Okay, we're only just barely finishing +1 infantry weapons, so I'll queue up the next phase, but otherwise, not worth it. This should be fine. We can leave an SCV here to repair. Okay, Mr. Tank, when you're done, we're going to move all the way through these canyons. And again, it's a neat concept. Like, you get the little back door area, and we can come, like, probably through here as opposed to here. But you can also siege down the command center from this area. The enemy units will get stuck, so we'll probably come all the way up here. Okay, so these are done. Let's get these fellas all the way over here. They may run into some enemies along the way. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is take these units and start moving up, because I think there might be some spider mines along here, so let's hotkey these. I see some enemies sitting out in the middle of the map. No problem. I'm like 90% sure there's spider mines somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so let's move on over here. Okay, don't. You're throwing your lives away. Okay, let's move on up here, get our tanks in position. I have so many Marines, way more than I could possibly need. Pathing is going to be our enemy here as we get through this canyon. Is the Dominion upgraded? I think they unloaded that bunker to come and attack us. Again, just sort of the detriment of the AI. They unload bunkers to try to get to you when they think that they're in danger. Which I guess is smart, right? If you're getting attacked on one side of your base, you should unload units to get over there. But at the same time, then they never refill them. So, I don't know. I remember there was a trigger in the editor that you could set up to have the enemy fill up bunkers, but they would never do it again. I'm thinking we just attack through the left side here, as opposed to going all the way up and around. Okay. Got the Marines. We got Duran. We can't heal Duran, so let's try to avoid him taking any damage. And, yeah, have him stand in the front. That's what I meant by not taking any damage. Okay, so what we're doing, just by starting this attack, is we're forcing the enemy to send all of their units directly to us. And what that's going to allow us to do is empty the whole base out. Their whole base is getting cleared out. Okay, we destroy their armory. They may not be able to make any more Goliaths. Okay, moving with the Marines. As long as we avoid any high ground tanks, I am happy. Okay, high ground tanks. This is what we were trying to avoid. So let's just go and hold position here. We're just going to cut left across to the command center. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of Dominion units on this map. I guess what we can do is just come on over here and make a barracks, like halfway down the canyon. Okay, and we can't heal any of this stuff, so we're just going to slowly but surely wipe all this stuff out. This isn't in range of tanks? I thought it would be. Okay. And I think this is more fun when, you know, we're just gonna win with just a little bit as opposed to overwhelming forces. We've done enough maps where we've had like a bajillion units and haven't needed to do anything else. So it's more fun, I think, now that we take the time to slowly creep with some tanks and a small group of infantry. They're trying to repair this. We're going to have our +1 armor done here pretty soon. Keep building. How long until this is done?
Your forces are under attack.
Did something find us back here? I guess not. Okay, so we're going to unsiege. We're going to try to sneak right into this base without getting hit by the tanks. May or may not happen. Okay, we're going to siege up here.
Base is under attack.
Okay, let's move in down here. Kill this fella. What are their upgrades at? They're also 1-1. One firebat may be enough. Ah, we got him! Okay. Marines over here. Move these guys in. We lost some tanks. We lost a tank to a firebat. That's ironic, considering I was joking about it. Don't go that way. We just have to sit here. Oh my god. Get out of here. Now, unfortunately, we can't reinforce with tanks. I mean, we could, but it would be a pain in the ass. Okay, move them in. And we are just on top of the command center. We can inch in. I am certain that these bunkers are empty. I was gonna say, if they weren't, then what I was talking about earlier would have been silly of me to even be spouting what I was talking about earlier. Okay, but stop that.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, just walk into the bunker, thank you. Okay, we're slowly but surely just gonna be wiping this stuff out. Any spider mines? No. All we have to do is get rid of the command center, getting rid of these barracks. We'll get rid of one of the barracks, then we'll start focusing them down. You know, just looking back at last mission, I just feel like my eyes are opened, and like, why not play these maps a little more with how they were intended to be played, rather than, you know, like, you could make a giant force every map, but instead, why not have a little more fun with it, challenge yourself a little bit, and play it more like how it was, quote, intended, which was, you know, with a little more challenge. You know, you try to...
Mission successful, Admiral.
Excellent, Lieutenant. This planet's primary defenses are now crippled. Our attack teams can now begin to decode the Dominion security data link.
Nice. You try to make it a little more difficult by building less, or not so much building less, but more trying to complete the missions in a timely fashion instead of trying to get over 150 supply before attacking. Again, it gets repetitive. Even if your army is varied, it can get pretty repetitive. Okay, that is completed. Excited to move on to the Dilarian shipyards next time. See you then. Bye now.